Business ownership is a variable that can make a lot of difference in a divorce case. Business can be the main business or occupation, or one or both of the part of the spouses, or it could be maybe just a simple side business. But the bigger picture, we have to look at what it represents for the couple. Was it only one person working in that business? Did the business exist before they got married? Were both persons working in that business? Was one person occasionally collaborating with the business? All those things will determine if both parties have certain rights to that business or only one. A person can have their own business and be completely isolated from the other spouse, or maybe, which is very typical, both persons will be working in the business, so both persons may have ownership rights in that business. So the next question would be how the ownership in that business be divided. Once there's an agreement or a decision that both parties have an ownership in that business, and the decision is to divide it somehow, it is possible for one person to buy out the other person, and in very difficult cases, the judge may order to have it sold and the proceeds distributed between the spouses. How much is a business worth? Well, there are professional valuators of businesses, and they will look at different ways to value how much a business is worth. And they will take into consideration the assets, the cash flow, the capital investments. So there are different valuations that can be calculated or estimated by a valuator. All of these will enter in the picture when it is time to distribute or partition the worth of the business. It may also be negotiated when one party is interested in continuing operating the business while the other party is thinking of exiting the business. A prenup is a very smart approach when two parties are contemplating marriage and one of them has a business, or even both of them have separate businesses. If they want to continue making sure that they will retain ownership of the business going forward, even in the event of separation, certainly writing, drafting, and signing a prenup agreement would go a long way to make sure things are anticipated, and in case of breakup, they know what to expect with their business. Another variable when there's a business involved is the debt of the business. The first step is to determine whether that debt was incurred only for the business or it was commingled with the debt from the spouses. Once that is determined, what is the debt that belongs exclusively to the business, that's the time when the judge may consider who would be responsible for paying that debt going forward. Normally, it would be the business that would be responsible for paying the debt, but again, there's always many times when the debt has been commingled with the expenses incurred by one of the spouses. For example, let's say that a person buys clothes or travels and charges the expenses to the business using the business credit card, and now there's a expense that must be paid, a certain debt, and of course the argument comes in trying to determine whether it was a personal expense or it was a business related expense. After we get past that point, then normally the business should be responsible for payment of that debt. If you have questions about business ownership in the context of divorce, contact us at the law office of Mario Varela